Hello and welcome to the Federal's ICC World Cup 2023 podcast. I am Aprameya. On Thursday night, November 2nd, India became the first team to enter the semifinals. The men in blue thrashed Sri Lanka by 302 runs, the biggest in terms of runs in World Cup history, to maintain an unbeaten record in the 10-team tournament. After scoring 357 for 8, India, powered by Mohammed Shami's 5-wicket haul, bundled out the opposition for just 55 in Mumbai. To discuss India's entry into the World Cup semi-finals, we have senior cricket writer R Kaushik joining us from the Wankhede Stadium. Thanks, Kaushik, for speaking to the Federal.
Hi, Apu. Thank you for having me again.
Kaushik, I have to again use the same word. India have been unstoppable, and again, yet another clinical performance demolished Sri Lanka.
Yeah, absolutely, Apu. This was, I think, more than clinical. This was just a dominating, overwhelming, overpowering display of all-round cricket. You look at the way this team has played in this tournament, and some of us might feel that the team has not been challenged enough. But I think it's worth remembering that they have not allowed themselves to be challenged. Just the brand of cricket that they have played, be it with the bat, be it with the ball, their body language, their intensity. I know everything gets amplified when the team does well, when the team wins. But, you know, it's this cycle that if you have these intent that we talk about, then it translates to victory. And then when you have a run of victories like India's had at the moment, it translates to intent. So success feeds off success. And you can see that in just in the body language, like I said, but also you can almost see the mindset. I know it sounds strange to say that you can see the mindset, but you can actually feel the mindset of the guys, that they feel that no situation is beyond them. And that's a fabulous quality to possess.
And the 7 wins in a row, and the most important thing is its all-round performance. Batting is clicking, bowling is clicking, and fielding also has been excellent.
Exactly. We were talking about after the first 5 games about how India has not batted first. They were put into bat in Lucknow, and it was not a great batting effort. It was admittedly a slightly tricky surface, but 229 for 9 for a batting lineup of this quality was underwhelming. And we still had doubts even after that match about how India would set the tone on a good batting track, batting first. And they were very fortunate today that they were put into bat by Kusal Mendis. I think in hindsight, Sri Lanka might have been better off batting first, because Shreyas Iyer came for the press conference, and more than once he talked about how beautiful a batting deck this was. And to be asked to bat first on this surface, to lose Rohit Sharma to the second ball of the match. And we must not forget that in Hardik Pandya's absence, we've been forced to rejig the bowling attack. So you feel that since only 5 bowlers are there, you need the cushion of runs on the board. And to be fair to Sri Lanka, they bowled extremely well in the first half an hour. With a little bit more of luck, they could have got Gill. He was dropped. A difficult chance at cover point. They could have got Kohli. A difficult cotton ball put down. So had those catches stuck, then who knows what would have happened. But once, and in the first half an hour, there's some moisture. There was surface was fresh. There was a lot of sea movement. But once India got past the half an hour mark, and once the pitch started to ease up a little bit, the moisture evaporated in the Mumbai sun. After that, the exhibition of stroke making that Kohli and Shubman Gill put on was a treat to watch. And it was just proper cricketing shots. When you know that when the Indian top 4, top 5 clicks, then you will get some of the most aesthetically pleasing shots to watch ever in the history of cricket. And this was an exhibition of batting. Then Shreyas Iyer came and applied, though I wouldn't say finishing touches. He started and then he continued it 1 year, and the sixes that he hit, some of them were monstrous sixes. There was one which was 106 meters, the biggest six of the tournament so far. So as far as batting goes, batting first, whatever doubts there might have been, completely dispelled at the moment. This was not a bad Sri Lankan attack. They got pace. Madhu Shankar is an excellent left-arm seamer who can swing the ball. He's the leading wicket taker in the tournament now with 18 scalps to his name after this 5-wicket haul. And to put 357 on the board, well, there was only one team in the contest after that.
And coming to India's bowling, Kaushik, we have discussed in the last 2 matches as well. Mohammed Shami again stepping up, 14 wickets in 3 matches, and is now the leading wicket taker for India in World Cups, going past Zaire and Javagal Srinath. He now has 45 wickets.
Yes, I mean, now again you go back to what we discussed many times in the past. So why did he not start the tournament for India? I know we spoke about how Shardul Thakur was better for the balance. But when you have somebody who can take wickets with the ease that which Shami is doing, why would you need the extra batsman at number 8? Shami doesn't. And if you look at this bowling attack that we're talking about, Apu, the 3 fast bowlers that played this match, each one is unique in terms of the skill set that he brings. Shami, we know, is not the most comfortable bowling with the new ball. Siraj loves bowling with the new ball, and Bumrah can bowl with anything. You can give him a lemon, and I'm sure he'll come and deliver the goods. And to be able to summon these guys at different stages of the innings is a great luxury that Rohit Sharma possesses. He uses them superbly. He knows exactly when to push back, when to go for the kill. And again, when you have the quality that's there at his disposal, at his command, and each of these guys is experienced. You spoke about Shami being India's leading wicket taker in World Cups. He's been around for 10 years. Bumrah's into his 8th year of international cricket. Siraj has been around for the last 3-4 years. They know exactly what is required in a specific situation, on a specific surface, what lengths to bowl, what areas to hit. And there is so much exchange of information between the 3 of them. They operate extremely well in tandem. And therefore, not only do they bring their own inputs to the table when they bowl, they have the inputs of their colleagues as well. And they genuinely enjoy each other's success. Sometimes what happens is that when you have 3 bowlers of this quality, then there could be a tendency to be greedy in going for wickets. But these 3 guys understand the importance of bowling in partnerships. So today you might get the wickets, tomorrow the other guy might get the wickets, but eventually what matters is that you get the wickets for the team. You look at the success that Shami has had, for instance. A lot of it has to do with the pressure that has been created by Bumrah. At the end of the day, Bumrah may not have the 4 and 5 wicket hauls to his name, and he might finish up with only 1 wicket like he did today. But the effect that Bumrah has on the opposition, we just cannot put it in words. And that is what makes this effect really special.
And I want to ask you about India's consistent performance in ODI World Cup after that first round debacle in 2007. Since then, 2011 India won the title at home. Then 2015 India again reached the semis. Then 19 semis and again semis. They have been consistent for the past 4 editions. Did things change after the 2007 World Cup and Dravid was the captain then? And all the seniors were so disappointed back then, and now Dravid is in charge as the coach.
Yeah, well, I'm not so sure if that had an impact on subsequent campaigns. If you look at it, yes, India had only won 1 match in the first 2 World Cup editions when they played 6 matches in 1979 when Sri Lanka was not even a test-playing nation. India lost to them as well. But if you take 1983, for instance, as a starting point, which it was in many ways not just for India in World Cups but for Indian cricket as such, then you see 83 they won the World Cup, 87 they reached the semi-finals, 92 they didn't have a very good campaign. Again, 96 they were in the semi-finals, 99 they reached the Super Sixers, 2003 they reached the final. So 2007, if you view against all these performances, is an aberration, is a blip. It was an excellent side. India had a really high-quality batting lineup going into the tournament, but they completely fluffed their lines. It didn't help that just a couple of months before the World Cup, Tendulkar was asked to move down from number 1 to number 4, which is something that he was not comfortable doing. The team was not in a good space at that time. And yes, even so, it was a huge shock losing to Bangladesh and losing to Sri Lanka and crashing out of 2007. But I think it might be a stretch to say that disastrous campaign has had an effect on what India has done subsequently. Now, if you look at the consistency that you're talking about, there are 2 ways of looking at it. One is that, yes, India has reached a semi-final every time since 2011 when they won the title, but also that since 2011 they've not won a World Cup.
Right.
So it's all fine to be ranked the number 1 team in the world, which India are at the moment. But would you rather have a title or would you rather have the ranking? Would you rather be consistent in reaching semi-finals time after time, or would you not mind losing out on an occasional semi-final spot if it means that you're able to win a title? These are the things that we need to consider. Yes, of course, there's no denying the fact that India have been very consistent, not just in 50-over World Cups, but even in 20-over World Cups, India have been very consistent, reaching the semi-finals most occasions except in 2021 when they crashed out of the first round. But then this whole wait for a title is now past its 10th year, and that is what when you are a powerhouse and we have the kind of talent and the skills and the support system and the structure that is in place in Indian cricket, then you want titles for the team. I know there's no guarantee. The best team may not always win titles, but you have to win. You have to do better than just 1 title in the last 10 years.
Okay, Kaushik, last couple of questions. On the other side of the opposition, Sri Lanka, what is going wrong with them? Asia Cup final, they were bowled out for 50 against India, and now 55, so almost 105 runs and 20 wickets they lost to India.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? I mean, Sri Lanka are in a rebuilding phase, but how long does the rebuilding phase last? You spoke about 50 in the Asia Cup, 55 today, and then you go back in time to January in Trivandrum, when India shot them out for 73 and won by 317 runs, which is the largest margin of victory in all one-day internationals as far as men's cricket is concerned. So it's not just an isolated one-off performance. Obviously, Sri Lanka did not make it to the World Cup by qualifying correctly. They had to take the qualifying route in the qualifiers that were held in Zimbabwe in June and July. So clearly things are not going their way. Is there a structural problem? Is there an issue with lack of support? Is it because their coaching systems are not ideal? Those are things that Sri Lanka have to ponder. But it is very imperative for international cricket to have more teams which are more competitive on a consistent basis. And while it is fine to say that we are in a rebuilding phase, what are the kind of demands that Sri Lanka cricket places on the players? How willing are they to forgive them for these largesses? That is a big question that needs to be addressed. What is their injury management structure? What is the injury prevention structure? Because you look at the fast bowling talent that they have, and the number of guys that keep getting injured, and how frequently they keep getting injured is a big concern for Sri Lanka. So yes, they have lots of questions to answer. They have to clean up the house quickly, because world cricket needs a vibrant Sri Lanka. As it is, like we keep saying, there are only 12 teams that play Test cricket. So you need all of them to be competitive so that cricket doesn't revolve only around India or England or South Africa or Australia.
Kaushik, one last question. India's next game is against South Africa in Kolkata Sunday, November 5th. It's a tabletop clash between 1 and 2. So what can we expect there? South Africa is also playing very, very well.
Yes, South Africa have played a brand of cricket that's taken everyone by surprise. The number of 300 plus scores that they have stacked up this tournament, the number of sixes that they have hit. Quinton de Kock is in red hot form, 400s in the tournament already. Rassi van der Dusen is batting really nicely. Aiden Markram, David Miller. And then you look at the bowling charts, and then you have Marco Jansen right there near the top. Keshav Maharaj is doing well. Coetzee is doing well. They are a very rounded and well-balanced unit, but they will also be the first to admit that they haven't yet in this World Cup run into a side that is in as red-hot form as they are. South Africa came a cropper in their match against Netherlands. There's a banana skin. They have recovered nicely after that, but they know that they will be up for a scrap on Sunday in Kolkata at the Eden Gardens. It will be 60,000 plus, 65,000 plus spectators. Should make for a great contest. It will be interesting to see how the Indian pacers line up against the informed South African batters, and it will be equally interesting to see how India's batsmen and how the top order fares against the South African pace attack with Rabada and Ngidi and Jansen, who's another left-arm seamer. India's historically had a few issues with left-arm seamers. I think it should be a cracker of a contest. Both have nothing to lose in the sense that South Africa almost have a foot in the semi-finals as well. So a top of a table clash should be a cracker of a contest.
Thanks, Kaushik. We'll reconnect on Sunday. Hope we have a cracking of the contest.
Yes, Apu. Thanks.